Hello ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel, The Lad Flick Show. Disney is back with another live-action remake, and this time, it's Snow White. Directed by Mark Webb, this film aims to reimagine the classic fairy tale with a modern touch. With Rachel Zegler as Snow White and Gal Gadot as the evil queen, this movie is set to be a bold retelling of the 1937 animated classic. But does it deliver? But before we get started, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon. Your support helps me bring you more awesome movie breakdowns. Let's get started. First things first, in this version of Snow White, we follow the journey of a young princess whose kindness and beauty make her a target for her envious stepmother, Queen Ravenna. Raised in isolation, Snow White longs for freedom, unaware of the darkness brewing within the palace. When she is forced to flee into the enchanted forest, she discovers a hidden world filled with magic, danger, and unexpected allies. Guided by 7 unique individuals, she begins to uncover secrets about herself, her past, and the kingdom she is destined to protect. But as the queen's power grows, Snow White must make a choice: run and hide or embrace her true destiny. The film adds new layers to the original fairy tale, focusing on courage, self-discovery, and the strength that comes from unity. Mark Webb, known for the Amazing Spider-Man films and 500 Days of Summer, brings his signature touch to this adaptation. He blends emotional depth with grand visuals, making the film feel intimate yet epic at the same time. The screenplay, co-written by Greta Gerwig, Barbie, Little Women, and Aaron Cressida Wilson, The Girl on the Train, gives Snow White a modern voice while keeping the heart of the story intact. Their version emphasizes self-empowerment, making Snow White a more active and self-reliant protagonist. The dialogue is sharp, and there are plenty of emotionally charged moments that elevate the film beyond just another fairy tale remake. Now let's talk about the performances, because this cast brings serious star power. Rachel Zegler as Snow White. After her incredible performance in West Side Story, Zegler once again proves her talent. She brings warmth, charm, and resilience to Snow White, making her a character that feels both classic and fresh. Her singing voice is another highlight, giving new life to the film's musical numbers. Gal Gadot as Queen Ravenna, easily one of the most exciting parts of the film. Her performance adds layers to the evil queen. She's not just a jealous villain but a deeply manipulative and cunning force. Her presence is magnetic, and her portrayal gives the queen a much-needed sinister edge. Andrew Burnap as Jonathan. A completely new character in this adaptation, Jonathan serves as a friend and ally to Snow White. His role adds an interesting dynamic to the story, though it might be divisive for some fans expecting a traditional prince character. Martin Kleba as Grumpy and the 7 Dwarfs. Unlike the classic animated version, the dwarfs here are more than just comic relief. They are reimagined as protectors of ancient magic, and each has a distinct personality that adds depth to the film. Visually, Snow White is a mixed bag. On one hand, the production design is stunning, the enchanted forest looks magical, the castle interiors are grand, and the costumes are beautifully detailed. Mandy Walker, the cinematographer behind Mulan and Hidden Figures, brings a rich fairy tale aesthetic to the film. However, the CGI-heavy approach might not sit well with everyone. The 7 Dwarfs are created through motion capture and CGI rather than practical effects, which gives them an uncanny look at times. Some of the magical creatures and landscapes also feel overprocessed, taking away from the realism that live-action adaptations aim for. The pacing of the film is mostly solid. The first half builds up Snow White's world beautifully, but the second act slows down a bit, especially when introducing side characters and subplots. However, the final showdown between Snow White and the Queen is intense and visually spectacular, delivering the payoff fans will be waiting for. Snow White successfully modernizes the classic fairy tale while keeping its magical essence alive. Strong performances, particularly from Zegler and Gadot, an emotionally engaging story, and a fantastic soundtrack make this a film worth watching. The cinematography and costume design add a visually appealing touch, and the Queen's villainous presence is a definite highlight. On the downside, the heavy reliance on CGI may not appeal to everyone, and some of the newly added story elements, especially Jonathan's character, might feel unnecessary to fans of the original. The pacing dips slightly in the middle, and while the film introduces new themes of empowerment and leadership, It occasionally over-explains, instead of letting the story speak for itself. Snow White is a bold, visually enchanting, and musically rich adaptation that breathes new life into a timeless story. If you're a fan of Disney's live-action remakes, this is definitely one to watch. What do you think? Are you excited to see this movie? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's chat about it. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Lad Flicks Show.